Stop scrolling. Seriously, stop. Because what I'm about to tell you, it doesn't feel real. It feels like a movie script that got rejected for being too extreme. We just got the latest updates on the Jaden Ivey situation. And I'm going to be honest with you. The NBA is officially in crisis mode. Not the fake crisis they sell you during All-Star Weekend. I'm talking about real panic. The kind where general managers stop answering their phones. The kind where coaches choose every single word like they're walking through a minefield. We've got leaked reports. We've got players turning on him behind closed doors. We've got footage circulating online that shows just how intense this fallout has become. And here's the part that should scare you. Everything is escalating by the hour. The league is under pressure. Not the usual, oh no, a bad tweet pressure. I'm talking about existential pressure. The kind that forces billionaires to make decisions they never thought they'd have to make. In this video, I'm going to break down exactly what happened, why it happened, and why the NBA is facing one of the most dangerous moments in its entire history. But before we get there, let me ask you something. Have you ever said something you believed with your whole heart, and then watched the entire world turn its back on you? Jaden Ivey is living that question right now, and the answer might cost him his career. March 30th, 2026, the Chicago Bulls release a statement. And let me read it to you word for word because the simplicity is actually terrifying. The Chicago Bulls waived guard Jaden Ivey for conduct detrimental to the team. That's it. No, we wish him well. No, we appreciate his efforts. No press conference where he stands next to the GM and pretends everything is mutual. Just one sentence. And then the door slammed. Hours earlier, something happened that changed everything. Jaden Ivey went on Instagram Live, and he didn't just post a casual thought, he posted a rant, a long one. We're talking about a video that went on for so long that people started watching just to see if he would run out of things to say. He didn't. He started talking about religion, then he started talking about the NBA's Pride Month, and this is where the temperature in the room changed. He said, and I'm quoting directly, "They proclaim Pride Month in the NBA. They proclaim it. They show it to the world. They say, come join us for Pride Month to celebrate unrighteousness. They proclaim it on billboards. They proclaim it in the streets, unrighteousness." Then he asked a question that cut straight through the noise. So how is it that one can't speak righteousness? That question, that's the line. That's the exact moment the NBA front offices started paying attention. But wait, there's more. Because Jaden didn't stop at general statements. He started naming names. He called out Stephen Curry. Now you have to understand, Steph Curry is arguably the most beloved superstar in the league. The guy writes Philippians 4:13 on his shoes. The public assumes he's a Christian. But Jaden looked into that camera and said, he's not even surrendered. Y'all believe he's a Christian because he wrote a Bible verse, but he curses just like the world. He don't know Jesus. Then he widened the scope. He said, all them rings he got. All them rings LeBron got. Michael Jordan got all them people in the Hall of Fame who don't know Jesus Christ. He called out all three in one breath on Instagram Live from what looked like an airplane seat. Now, here's what you need to understand. This wasn't a calculated PR move. There was no agent in his ear saying, maybe dial it back. This was raw. This was unfiltered. This was a man who decided that his audience of one was God, and everyone else could either listen or leave. But to understand how he got to that point and sitting on a plane, daring the entire league to silence him, you have to go back, way back. Because Jaden Ivey wasn't some random kid who picked up a basketball last week. Jaden Edward Denanji Ivey was born on February 13th, 2002. And here's the thing about his bloodline. It's pure sports royalty. His mother is Neela Ivey. She's the head coach of the Notre Dame women's basketball team. But before that, she was an All-American at Notre Dame. She played 5 seasons in the WNBA. She knows the grind from the inside. His father, Javon Hunter, played for the Baltimore Ravens and the San Francisco 49ers. His grandfather, James Hunter, 7 seasons in the NFL as a defensive back for the Detroit Lions. Jaden didn't stumble into basketball. He was born into the arena. He grew up in South Bend, Indiana, with the echoes of Notre Dame crowds as his lullaby. He played at Marion High School. Then he transferred to La Lumiere School. They're one of the top programs in the country. He was a consensus 4-star recruit. He committed to Purdue over offers from Butler and Notre Dame. And at Purdue, he became a problem. the kind of problem that made opposing coaches lose sleep. Listed at 6'4", 200 pounds with a 6'9.5 wingspan. Like, he had prototypical dimensions for a shooting guard, but it wasn't the measurements that scared people. It was the explosiveness. That first step, electric. That extra gear with the ball, unfair. That leaping ability with a head of steam, defenders literally stepped out of the way. The Detroit Pistons selected him 5th overall in the 2022 NBA draft. He was supposed to be the other half of a young backcourt alongside Cade Cunningham. And honestly, he started strong. He made the 2022-23 NBA All-Rookie team, averaged 16.3 points, almost 4 rebounds, over 5 assists, shot 41% from the field. By year 2, he was pushing the ceiling even higher. Career high 17.6 points per game during the 2024-25 campaign. Everything was trending up. And then the injuries came. January 1st, 2025. A game against the Orlando Magic. One play, one fracture, a broken left fibula, and just like that, everything changed. The rest of the 2024-25 season was gone. The explosive drives, gone. The rookie accolades, distant memory. The upward arc of a career still in its early bloom. It hit a wall so hard that the wall cracked. Now, I want you to really think about what a broken fibula means for a player like Jaden Ivey. His entire game was built on speed, explosiveness, the ability to change direction at velocities that made defenders look stupid. A broken leg wasn't just a physical setback, it was an existential threat to his identity as a basketball player. He had dealt with lower body trouble before, but this was different. This was season-ending surgery. This was months of rehab. This was watching his career slip away while he sat on a couch. And here's where the story gets dark, really dark. On March 31st, just days ago, Ivey spoke for nearly 2 hours on the Pinpoint podcast, and he revealed something that made the entire room go silent. He said he considered suicide after that broken leg. Let me read you what he said. He said, "I had pills in my hand, and my wife was telling me, don't do this. Don't go down this road." A 24-year-old professional athlete, sitting in the rubble of a promising career, staring at a handful of pills, his wife begging him to put them down. The injury didn't just break his leg, it nearly broke him entirely. He said, and I'm quoting, "Before I came to the Lord Jesus Christ, the NBA was everything to me. I didn't know God. I didn't know Jesus when I came to the NBA. I was a fornicator. I was a pornography addict. I used to get drunk. That's all I knew." He said after wins, after points, he felt good. But those highs were temporary, artificial. Then he said something that will stick with me. "I'm not the J.I. used to be. The old J.I. is dead. I'm alive in Christ no matter what the basketball setting is." This wasn't someone casually mentioning faith in a post-game interview. This was a full-scale spiritual transformation happening in real time. A man who had looked at the bottom and found something worth living for. But the question the basketball world had to confront was this: can that transformation exist alongside the demands of an NBA locker room? Ivey missed the first 15 games of the 2025-26 season. When he finally returned, he made 33 appearances, only 2 starts. The numbers told a bleak story, from nearly 18 points a game to barely 8. The explosiveness that once terrified defenses was visibly diminished. That first step that used to leave opponents grasping at air, it was labored, tentative, a fraction of a second slower. And in the NBA, a fraction of a second might as well be an eternity. The Pistons decided to move on. They cut ties with him days before the 2026 trade deadline, sent him to the Bulls in a 3-team deal. Chicago hoped a fresh start would reignite the flame. Coach Billy Donovan even said, there was some hope that he would be a guy that would be here for the long term. That was the intention. But Ivey only managed 4 games in a Bulls uniform. 4. Then his knee flared up again. The Bulls shut him down for the remainder of the season. And here's the thing. When the basketball was taken away, when the court was no longer available as an outlet, that Instagram camera became his pulpit. He went live constantly, videos lasting over an hour, talking about depression, talking about religion, talking about wicked music lyrics, anti-Catholicism, abortion, and even his love for apple pie. It was part sermon, part confession, part stream of consciousness. But then came the exchange that drew its own firestorm. Someone asked if he went to confession, and Jaden said, I'm quoting, "Catholicism is a false religion and is not the true doctrine of Christ. It does not lead to salvation in Jesus Christ." The irony, almost too obvious to ignore. His mother, Niela, is the head coach of Notre Dame's women's basketball team. The university founded in 1842 by the Congregation of Holy Cross, a Roman Catholic congregation. His mother built her entire career at one of the most prominent Catholic institutions in America. She went to Catholic grade school, Catholic high school. She said Notre Dame's Catholic values were a major factor in her decision to coach there. And here was her son, broadcasting to the world that her employer's foundational faith was a false religion. The timing, unforgettable. This unfolded just one day before his mother coached number 6 Notre Dame in an Elite 8 March Madness clash against number 1 UConn. But the comments that drew the sharpest response, the ones about Pride Month, that was the tripwire. Sources told ESPN that there was a pattern here. This didn't come out of nowhere. According to the Chicago Sun-Times, Ivey wasn't just posting online, he was bringing it into the workplace. He asked reporters if they'd had premarital sex. He told teammates who was righteous and who was unrighteous. He made people uncomfortable. And look, there's a difference between having strong beliefs and making your coworkers feel judged in their place of work. The Bulls realized that the Instagram videos were just the public-facing tip of an internal iceberg. Billy Donovan stood before reporters in San Antonio, and he chose his words like a surgeon choosing a scalpel. He said, "There's a certain level of expectations and standards that are here. We have people from all walks of life. We have to all be professional. There has to be a high level of respect for one another." He didn't attack Ivey's faith. Smart move. He framed it around standards, professionalism, and respect. But then he went somewhere controversial. He said, "I'm not a doctor, but I would say mental health is a real issue. I'm not saying there are mental health issues with Ivey, but I do know there's a lot these guys have to deal with." The implication landed like a heavyweight punch. Without saying it directly, Donovan had linked Ivey's public statements to a potential mental health concern, and some of Ivey's supporters later seized on that as proof that the NBA pathologizes faith. Then Josh Giddey spoke. He said, "He's a very talented player. The whole thing is kind of unfortunate. I hope he gets the help he needs, whatever he's going through. I really hope he gets help." The repeated emphasis on help said everything. A teammate who shared a locker room with Ivey was essentially telling the world that something was off. Then there was JB Bickerstaff, Ivey's former coach in Detroit. He took a different approach. He acknowledged the human being beneath the headlines. He pointed to the injuries, the decline, the struggle, but he also drew his own boundary. He said, "I also believe the NBA is one of the most inclusive environments in pro sports. It's genuine. It celebrates different ethnicities, heritages, sexual preferences. The NBA brings people together." Then he said something that captures the entire tension of this story. "If we don't believe the same thing, as long as your beliefs don't infringe upon me, you have a right to have your beliefs. Your beliefs are yours until they infringe on someone else." Jaden Ivey did not accept this framing, not even close. He went live again, from what appeared to be an airplane, and went after the Bulls directly. He said, "They are liars, bro. This is lying. They're saying my conduct is detrimental to the team. That's a lie. Ask any one of them coaches, was I a good teammate? All I'm preaching about is Jesus Christ, and they waived me." He said, "I haven't even been with the team. I've been rehabbing. So how is my conduct detrimental? Did I say you suck to the players? That would be detrimental." Outside the NBA, the response split along sharp lines. Conservative commentators rallied around him. Riley Gaines wrote, "We live in a world that hates Christ. Consider me a Jaden Ivey fan." On the other side, Jameel Hill pushed back. Fans expressed concern for his mental well-being. One wrote, "Something is 100% going on. NBA players don't just go haywire like this out of nowhere. Praying for bro." Here's where things stand right now. Jaden Ivey is an unrestricted free agent. He'll still get his full $10.1 million this season. He has money. He does not have a team. There were fake rumors about the Lakers signing him. Social media posts designed to look like breaking news alerts, all fabricated. No team has publicly expressed interest. And here's the uncomfortable truth at the center of this entire story. Last season, he averaged 17.6 points. At that level of production, a team might have navigated the controversy differently. A franchise can absorb controversy from a franchise player. At 8.5 points per game, with chronic knee issues, nearing the end of an expiring contract, the calculation changes completely. From a player on the margins, controversy becomes an equation that no front office wants to carry. Jaden Ivey believes he was waived for religious reasons. He said, "My conduct was not detrimental. It's strictly because I spoke the truth of the word of God." He ended one of his rants with a line that I can't stop thinking about. He said, "When I came into the league, all I wanted to do was win championships, get millions of bucks, get that next contract, get all them cars. That's all I wanted. Until the Lord showed me, what good is it to gain the world and forfeit your soul?" That's the question Jaden Ivey is living right now. And depending on who you ask, the answer looks completely different. Completely. Whether he plays another NBA game remains to be seen. Whether any team wants to take on the talent and the turbulence, that's a decision 29 front offices are weighing in silence at this very moment. But one thing is certain, a former 5th overall pick, an all-rookie selection, a young man with a family pedigree steeped in professional sports. He has staked his entire career on a conviction he says he will not abandon. I want to hear from you. Is this religious discrimination? Or did the Bulls make the only call they could? Drop your take in the comments. I read every single one. And if you want to understand the deeper story behind the headlines, I'll see you in the next video.